Αλέξανδρε και Αλεξία. Αρχίζω ελληνικά, καλώς ήρθατε και συνεχίζουμε στα αγγλικά.
Ευχαριστούμε.
What was the purpose of this trip?
So, I think the general purpose of this trip was to take another look at what's going on in the Eastern Mediterranean, and as Greek Americans, some of us are Cypriot Americans, to learn exactly what's going on politically, and how what's going on politically there can relate to the United States and how the United States has interests in the Eastern Mediterranean.
What have you learned, finally?
I have learned so much since being on this trip. Mostly I've learned that we as young Greek Americans and Cypriot Americans do have the capacity to make a difference in American Greek and American Cypriot relations, and that we're just acquiring such a wealth of knowledge of how we can go to our lawmakers and our policymakers to really help them understand what an important role both Greece and Cyprus play in American foreign policy.
What do you study in the States?
I study finance and international business.
And you?
I study political science and international relations.
Okay. And what experience have you gained from this trip?
I think for me most, it's an insight into how diplomacy works, how the world...
Really?
Yeah, the world, as everybody knows, and I think we know this too, it's a lot bigger than the United States. But living in the United States, you know, you see things from a certain perspective. But when you come to Greece, you go to Cyprus, you get to look to see what's more important in their lives and how certain historical things have impacted them. For example, I've never seen the impacts of an invasion on my country. And when we went to Cyprus, we went to the occupied area, and we saw Famagusta, a huge fenced-off city, and how the airport and other things are frozen in time. It's miraculous. You can never understand it.
You have been to the occupied area?
Yes, we did.
Yes.
How did you feel about it?
It was heartbreaking going into the occupied region, especially because one of the administrative members on our trip was actually there in 1974 when the invasion occurred, and it's heartbreaking to see, you know, our Orthodox churches completely destroyed and to see desecrated graves, and you see such a lack of development in the occupied region compared to, you know, compared to the southern part of the island, which is, you know, internationally recognized.
So, I would like to find out more about you and your family. Who was the first Greek family member that moved to America?
On my side, for my personal family, so it's kind of interesting. Tell
me your story.
So on my dad's side, the first person to move was my grandfather, and
you are third generation.
Kind of. It's because on my mom's side it's totally different. So my grandfather moved, and then he made a living, and then my dad grew up and was born in the United States. So I would be second generation on that end. But my dad came to school in Greece and studied, and that's where he met my mom. So my mom was born and raised, and she came to the United States for the first time when she was in her 30s.
And you do speak Greek very well.
I try.
Okay,
and your story?
My first relatives to come to the United States is my great-grandmother.
Wow, you're fourth generation.
So on my mother's side, yes, and she immigrated from Limnos to New Jersey.
Would you ever consider coming and live here permanently?
I think it would be nice to retire
work here.
I think it would be nice to retire here. Working here, I don't know, hopefully I'd like to think that maybe my job will bring me here. So I always love to come to Greece, I always love to see my family. But yeah, it's a different culture. It's a wonderful place to be, and yeah, it would be great to work here someday.
Is it? A different culture for you too?
A bit. But also, we've grown up around Greek Americans, but also Greeks who have immigrated to America, and and so we have had exposure to Greek culture and, you know, the kefi of Greek people. So I know I'm personally interested in both international security and human rights. and looking into master's programs to study those. And I think that focusing on Greece and Cyprus would be two, ideal countries to try to work on both of those issues, both of those avenues. So hopefully I'll come back here, yes.
Did you find the EAHI program helpful, enjoyable?
I mean, so we just, at this point, we just finished with Cyprus, and it was very enlightening, and I owe so much to the people who do what they can, like Nick Larigakis and all the people that support.
We love Nick Larigakis.
He's a good person. But this is a phenomenal opportunity, and what I've seen so far, I could never imagine having been able to see the magnitude and what it's done to. I'm only 19 years old, so I don't have much of a grasp in perspective. I know. I don't have much of a grasp and perspective on what life is as a whole, I guess. But definitely learning about the problems all around the world, especially in the Eastern Mediterranean, where I have a personal connection where I come from. It's an unforgettable experience.
What do you think, Alexia?
I mean, so far, this experience has been absolutely incredible. These people that we're meeting on this trip are officials that most people will never meet in their lifetime, in a lifetime of foreign service.
Yeah. Would you recommend it to other students?
Absolutely.
Do the same?
Yeah, I mean,
next year maybe.
It's been kind of not overwhelming, but it's been a great experience because never in my life have I walked into a meeting room and all of a sudden there's like 15 placemats with water and orange juice, and everything's like very professional. And it's a great look into what makes the world and what decisions of each country and how all those decisions line up to shape how everybody lives their life in the long picture. So it's outstanding. Definitely recommend it.
And finally, do you visit Greece often?
So actually,
and what's your favorite place?
In Greece?
Yeah, I really would like, I think the Greek islands, but I really don't know.
So prior to this, I've been to Greece twice, and only twice, and the last time was 7 years ago. Greece.
So this trip must be very precious for you.
When I landed, I got kind of emotional. I was so happy to be back. And the last time I visited, I actually visited Tinos, to the church there, the cathedral, and so far you're just so overcome with emotions when you go there, and it's absolutely beautiful. And yeah, so far that's my favorite place, but this trip might change.
What about you?
I don't know if I have a favorite place because my mom's family is here. I'm more inclined to come here more often. See my yaya, papu, nona. Everybody's here.
Where?
Nesmiri.
Nesmiri.
Yeah.
Okay, they are going to watch this interview. All of them.
I hope so. No, but so I guess wherever they are, I'm happy. You know what I mean? When you don't see people all the time, it's more about the parea than the exact scenery. It's always nice to be on the beach in Santorini, though.
Alexia, Alexandre, thank you so much.
Thank you.